Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. I would like to extend a very, very warm welcome to all of you today for Spring 2018's orientation session, especially to our new students who have invested their time to be a part of this. It is truly a pleasure to have you all with us. May Allah reward you for this and make the knowledge gained beneficial to you as well as to us. We will begin this session with a welcome address by our very own Dr. Abu Amina Bilal Phillips, followed by a few words of motivation to the freshers by Dr. Mariama Sise, our VC. Next, Sheikh Ismail Kamdar and Sister Asma Hussain will address the students, followed by Sister Madiha, introducing us all to IOU's global administration. Last of all, we'll have a message from a senior student. So let us begin the session now with Dr. Bilal's address to the students. Our founder and chancellor, Dr. Bilal Phillips, is a Jamaican-Canadian Islamic scholar. Shortly after his reversion to Islam, he embarked on a spiritual academic journey to the other side of the world, seeking Islamic knowledge in Saudi Arabia, where he completed a BA in Islamic Studies in Medina and an MA in Islamic Theology in Riyadh, and later a PhD at the University of Wales in Islamic Theology. Dr. Bilal Phillips has written, translated, and commented on 50 published books on various Islamic topics. He has also edited and published the 56-book Iman reading series for children and presented Islamic programs for a number of years on Riyadh Channel 2 TV, Sharjah TV, as well as Peace TV, Huda TV, Islam Channel, and The Deen Show. We will now hear a message from Dr. Bilal Phillips.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I would like to welcome all of our new students as well as our continuing students for this orientation session for this new semester. Alhamdulillah, it is our normal practice at the beginning of every semester to welcome the new students and give them some basic advice and encouragement in order for them to maximize the benefit from their study. As the Chancellor of the University, who set up this whole program for your benefit, I would like to stress a few important points. One among those points is the concept of ihsan, that we try to do things to the best way possible. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as the Prophet ﷺ had quoted, loves that we do things to the best that we can. Inna Allah yuhibbu min ahadikum, as the Prophet ﷺ said, Allah loves from each and every one of you, إِذَا عَمِلَ عَمَلًا, if you do any deed, and yutqina, that you do it to the best of your ability. So, coming into this course, whichever course you've chosen, of the 7 or 8 different options we have, as well as our certificate programs, and our associate degrees, you have a variety of choices and you can shift around, you can shift out of one stream into another stream. The flexibility is there. But the end point is that you should apply yourself firmly, seriously, with the right intention. The intention being to gain knowledge which would allow you to serve the ummah. And in doing that, serving the ummah for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala becomes for you ibadah. It becomes for you ibadah or worship of Allah. So you should approach your studies as worship. In the same way, when you worship, there are conditions that must be fulfilled. And there are things that may be done which can cancel the validity of your worship. So you have to be conscious and aware of all of those factors. You should enter this program seriously. Not doing your tests, your modules, your revision at the last minute. That's what you did in high school, and that's what everybody else was doing. You shouldn't have, but more than likely that's what you did. The point is now you're entering into the tertiary level of education. You may be in Islamic studies, and that's one thing that you're encouraged to take. Not necessarily as a major, but even in your other areas like Islamic banking and finance or information technology, etc., you will have to also take some Islamic subjects. The point here is that we have to look at all of our subjects as important. Not just the subjects you may be focusing on, which is your major, psychology for example. You also should consider all of the additional courses that you're asked to take, and to do them to the best of your ability. So this principle of ihsan, perfection, itqan, doing things as perfectly as possible, this should be a guiding light for yourself in the course of your next 4 years of study, or 3, or 2, or 1. Commitment should be there. Also, due to the nature of online study, the dropout rate is high. A lot of people will not make it. 40%, 30% will drop out. In some countries, in some cases, it might be as much as 60% will drop out. So that is true of conventional universities. As much as 40% will drop out anyway. So online, sometimes this is increased, not just around the same, but doubled sometimes, or less. The point is what? That people drop out for reasons, and you need to be aware of the reasons why you shouldn't drop out. You may find some difficulties. People find difficulties studying online. They're not familiar with it. They're not used to studying on their own. And they try to get help. They can't find help immediately, or the help is not sufficient, and they drop out, frustrated. You have to know that you shouldn't give up. If you are sincere in your commitment in the first place, then you have to be patient, because gaining knowledge is not something that is going to come on a silver spoon, in a silver platter. You're going to have to work for it. And shaitan, satanic forces, will be busy trying to dissuade you, discourage you, dishearten you, so that you will drop out. And if you do, they have succeeded. So my advice to you is to hang in there at any cost. Even if it means giving some subjects up, okay, you can't handle it, you've taken on too much for yourself, you weren't prepared for it, whatever, you didn't give yourself enough time, and you're a slow starter, you didn't start off right away in the beginning of the semester, so you lost the first month, for example, and that can makes things very difficult for you. But the point is that better you fail 1 or 2 and get through the remaining 4, then just give up totally. Something is better than nothing. So beware of the dropout syndrome, which is extremely high in online study. Thirdly, my advice is also to take what you can handle. Yes, if you take 12 courses per semester, you can finish your degree in 2 years. That sounds wonderful. Only 2 years. Yes, 2 years is enough. But very few people can handle 12 subjects. That's reality. So don't take on or bite off more than you can chew. Take your basic 6 first semester, see how you go with that 6. You might find 6 was too much for you. You need to go down to 4 next semester. Or you find that 6 was doable, maybe you can add to it 2 more or 3 more. If you can add 3 to make it 9 per semester, you can finish your degree in 3 years. Your 4-year degree course you can do in 3 years. But it's better for you to increase gradually after starting from the norm, the standard amount, rather than jumping in the deep end, 12 subjects, and you fail half of them. No point. So my advice is, take what you can handle. لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها. Allah does not burden anyone more than they can handle. So why should you burden yourself more than you can handle? Huh? You can't complain to Allah because you're the one that put yourself in that situation. So better to start with what is doable and then move on to increase or decrease. You have to look at your time, because really it's going to be all about time management. That's going to be the key. If you can manage your time properly, then believe me, you will be able to do well. Do your 6 courses and do them well if you can manage your time. But you have to be realistic. Set a schedule for yourself. Put it on the wall. You know you have 30 modules per subject, right? And to the midterm, you have to do 15 of them. You have 2.5 months to do the 15 modules from each course. If you're taking 6 courses, that's 90 modules. You have 90 modules to cover in 2.5 weeks. So give yourself that time. If you're a full-time student, why not? That's what you would have done at university anyway. Don't think that because this is online, so I really don't need to do it the way I would have done. No. Do it the same way. If you are instead a part-time student, you're taking half the load, then obviously it's going to be less for you. What we talked about 2 to 4 hours may just be 1 hour to 2 hours in a day. And if you're doing it only in your spare time, then you have to be even more careful. Because if you're a working professional, for example, how much spare time do you have? You've got a family, you've got other commitments, etc. So how much time can you give at night? You can only give 2 hours. Then you have to try to fit everything here in 2 hours. Maybe you'll need 6 days a week. Or maybe on the weekend you give it extra time. Instead of just 2 hours on Saturday, the day off, you need to put in 4 hours. Because you have to know that this is serious. This is a serious course of study. One of the biggest mistakes students make is they think, oh, online, that's so easy, it's just multiple choice questions. What do we really don't have to prepare? It's easy to get through. No, many people fail. That's the reality. It's not that it's easy at all. It's just as hard, if not harder, than classes in a conventional university. It's much more challenging. So don't be fooled into thinking that this is just Mickey Mouse, a walk in the park. Easy. It's not. It's serious study. What makes it special is that whatever you are learning it from an Islamic perspective. That's what makes it special. Alhamdulillah, you can't get this anywhere else. This is one of the unique features of the programs here in Islamic Online University, those which are not specifically Islamic, modern subjects, some people call them secular subjects. We teach them all from an Islamic perspective. Otherwise, there was no need for us to start programs in education and in psychology, etc., because they already exist. Do we need to reinvent the wheel? No. But what we do need to do is to make a difference. To give that knowledge from an Islamic perspective so that this next generation that goes through these courses will themselves have a changed view, another view on their subjects, and be able to implement it in our communities globally in such a way as to change the nation through education. That is the goal of the Islamic Online University. So, my fellow students and new teachers or teacher assistants, lecturer assistants, I'd like to welcome you to this new semester, and I pray that Allah blesses your efforts with success in both this life and the next. I ask you to keep in mind your commitment. At the same time, hang in there, don't give up when the trials come, and take what you can handle. Take as much as you can handle. And then make sure that your commitment is to utilize this knowledge to benefit the Ummah. To benefit the Ummah, and in doing so, you will be engaged in ibadah. To worship Allah while working for your living and working in service to your community. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Moving on, our next speaker for the evening is Dr. Mariama Sise. Dr. Mariama was born in Gambia, where she did the first part of her education and later studied in Kenya, New Zealand, and the United States for her first and advanced degrees. She's an education, policy, and planning analyst with work experience in government regionally and internationally, and with NGOs in data collection, analysis, and reporting. Her work experience has extended across a wide variety of countries in Africa and has collaborated with countries in Asia and across different national stakeholders as well as bilateral and multilateral agencies. Her areas of competence include educational policy and system planning, reform and transformation of education systems, basic education and development, non-formal education for out-of-school children and youth, community education, special attention to issues of equity and social justice, governance and management in education, teacher education and development, and professional support services. We now welcome Sister Mariama.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. Here on behalf of the Chancellor, Dr. Abu Amina Bilal Phillips, on behalf of the IOU family, I want to welcome all students to the spring semester. But I want to particularly extend a warm welcome to the new students who are joining IOU, a center of excellence. IOU, a center of excellence where we try to enrich opportunities, both physically, both intellectually and spiritually, for students, for the Ummah, through the IOU family. A center of excellence which welcomes students to enrich themselves, extending teaching, extending research, and also training the students to take care of communities, with 3 missions of the university in terms of teaching, research, and community development. Welcome to IOU. 11 years ago, this great institution, founded by its founder, wanted to help change the nation, but change the Ummah through education, through higher education. We come to higher education for many reasons, chief in which mainly is to earn a living, a decent living, so that the Ummah doesn't get into criminality or get out of the way. The sirata that we talk about every day in Social Fatiha, in our 5 daily prayers. People also try to get higher education to gain knowledge. But what is knowledge without action? And what is action if the knowledge that you gain at IOU does not benefit you as an individual, as a family, as a community, as an Ummah, to change for the better? IOU, a center of excellence, where we are really trying to give quality education. Quality, nothing less than quality. But a question that always comes to mind, and will continue for a long time as new students: are you prepared? You have to be prepared. You have to prioritize your education, your higher education, but particularly your higher education at IOU. Prioritize higher education to change the nation. But you have to plan. You have to program yourself. You have to really make sure that these plans are consistent, are also something that you want to do. In each semester you have 5 months of study, and exams, everything that is quality has to be planned. You don't want to fail to plan. If you fail to plan, you'll plan to fail. And as students, you have to be mentally prepared, psychologically prepared to study online. The challenges are numerous. You have to know what you want to do. If you choose to study online, the challenges are there. You would like to prepare yourself. You would like to gain the knowledge of what is where, who is who, where to get help at any given moment. If we are trying to give IOUs providing an education both for this dunya and in the akhir, then we better be prepared. Just like death, it comes inevitably. So we really need to plan for the courses that we do. We need to plan and program ourselves in terms of the tests that needs to be done, in terms of the modules that are supposed to be done, in terms of the exams to be taken by all students. This requires consistency in the way you plan, consistency in the how many hours you put on a daily basis in your work, in terms of how you prepare the tests. If you don't know, ask. There's a help desk. There are your lecturers. We are all here to help support your studies at IOU. Once you have the confidence and also the faith that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will help, then all roads will lead to the highest of highest in terms of quality education that we'll gain, and your preparedness in applying this to help the Ummah. But you cannot give what you don't have. You really have to do very well in terms of your studies at IOU. And we need to be prepared, we need to plan, we need to move on. But this Center of Excellence, as far as IOU is concerned, is yourselves, in how well you do, in how serious you are with your studies, in how consistent you are in terms of doing what it takes to really help this institution. You will move as a Center of Excellence yourself. Then we move the Ummah as a Center of Excellence. And we move IOU. Thus, together, we can do very, very well as a world-class higher education institution. We don't have a choice at IOU. And we are really trying to encourage the students towards zero dropouts, towards 100% retention rate. Remember, as an Ummah, we have to move together, and when people drop out, there's a lot of wastage. We wish you all the best in your studies, in your state of preparedness, mentally, psychologically, and we look forward to working with you. Together we can make a better Ummah, but also a world-class institution such as IOU. May Allah make it happen. May Allah guide you, give you the hikmah to move on at all levels. May Allah give you success in your studies, both for this dunya and in the akhirah. It is great optimism and confidence that I take this opportunity to wish you success in all your endeavors and studies at IOU to the benefit of humanity and the Islamic Ummah. Fi amanillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah ta'ala wa barakatuhu.
Our next speaker, Sheikh Ismail Kamdar, began his study of Islam at the age of 13. He has been actively involved in Islamic work since the age of 16. He completed a 7-year Alim course in 2007 and a BA in Islamic Studies from the Islamic Online University in 2014. He is currently a senior lecturer as well as the faculty member of the Islamic Online University and is involved in multiple da'wah projects. Sheikh Ismail has authored many books like Having Fun the Halal Way, Getting the Barakah, Best of Creation, and Homeschooling 101, among many other titles. Here's Sheikh Ismail's message for everyone.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah, IOU has grown a lot over the past few years. We now have multiple streams to offer, and each of you here are studying different subjects at the Islamic Online University. But the topic that I want to talk about today is about avoiding a trap of shaitan that many students fall into. And that is the trap of giving up. Remember that shaitan does not want you to benefit this ummah. Shaitan does not want you to benefit yourself. In fact, shaitan wants you to waste your life, to waste your time. And so, when he sees you doing things that in the long run are going to benefit not just you, but the rest of the ummah as well, he will try every possible way to make you give up. And that's his plan. His plan is to make you give up. And so we see across the globe, in almost any Islamic institute, where people go to study Islamic studies or to study an Islamized curriculum of some other subject, there tends to be a very high dropout rate. And it's only those who are truly sincere and dedicated who make it to the end. So understand, O student of Islam, that shaitan is trying to make you give up your studies. And shaitan will do everything he can to make you give up those studies. He may make a family member tell you that you are wasting your time. He may make a friend tell you that you are wasting your time. He may make it such that you find the difficulties in your life so overwhelming that you cannot find time to study. All of this is just a delusion. If you put all of that aside and you just focus on your studies for a few hours every day, it will get done regardless of what is going on in your life. So today I want to mention 6 things. That if we do these 6 things, then inshallah shaitan's trap will fail and we will complete our studies. Number 1 is to study with ikhlas. To do it for the sake of Allah. Ikhlas means that we do things sincerely for the sake of Allah, with no worldly objectives. Meaning, why am I studying? Now this doesn't mean that we can't expect a decent job or salary or anything like that. But why am I studying? What's the main reason? The main reason must be for Allah. The main reason should not be for money, because there are other faster routes to money which shaitan might tempt you into. The main reason should never be for fame, because that is the worst reason to study and one that actually leads to punishment in the afterlife. We should be studying for Allah, and anything else that comes along with it is by the way. So step number 1, always renew your intention. Number 2, have clear goals about what you want to do with your knowledge. Because if you don't know what you plan to do after studying with that knowledge, then when the going gets tough, you don't really have a reason to keep studying. But if you are studying for a higher goal, so you have a plan to open an Islamic center when you finish study, or you have a plan, to teach Islamic studies, or to continue Islamizing the field that you are studying in, or to do something really amazing and profound, then you know that you cannot give up your studies. Because if you give up your studies, you cannot achieve that goal. And so having a high and strong goal will force you to complete your studies no matter how difficult it gets. So always have high goals. Number 3, have a support system in place. Whether it's friends or online friends or colleagues who you meet online or family members, have some people in your life who are going to encourage you to keep studying when you feel like giving up. Because you and I, we are human beings. As human beings, we have our good days and our bad days. We have those days when we are full of motivation and we just want to get things done. And we have those days where we feel like it's too much and we just want to give up. On those days when we feel like giving up, it's important to have friends and family members who are there to remind us to keep going, who are there to remind us never to give up, who are there to remind us of what our real goal is so that we keep moving forward. So it's very important to have a support system in place and not to study in isolation. Remember, the shaitan goes after the lonely sheep, not the one who is a part of a group. So make sure you have a group around you to keep you going and to keep you motivated. Number 4, continuously, from this moment on until you finish studying, continuously make dua to Allah that He must help you to complete your studies. Make dua to Allah that you complete your studies and that you complete it and do well, and that you use that knowledge to benefit the ummah. You need to keep making that dua over and over again, right until you complete your studies. It's not a dua that you make once off when you first start studying. No, it's something that you have to keep doing. So dua is essential for success. Number 5, have a plan of action. Have a plan. How many subjects can I realistically study? How many hours a day should I dedicate to studies? Which modules on which day? How am I going to get my assignments done? How am I going to get my research papers done? How am I going to study for the exams? Have everything planned and systemized so that nothing is left for the last minute, so that you don't give up when things seem overwhelming, because things won't get overwhelming if you plan ahead. If you don't plan ahead, then yes, things will eventually get overwhelming when you have assignments due and exams due and module tests due all at the same time. But if you plan and you systemize, then you won't have to face that. So have a plan, set a plan from now for the rest of semester how you're going to handle it. And finally, number 6, persist. Persist no matter what. No matter what obstacles come in your way, keep moving forward. No matter how hard things get, keep moving forward. No matter how tired you get, keep moving forward. No matter how lazy you get, keep moving forward. Persist, persist, persist. That is the only way to achieve any goal, and that includes completing your studies of Islam. So that is my message for you today at the orientation session for fall 2017 semester. That shaitan wants you to give up, and over the next few years there'll be many times where you too would want to give up. In order to stop that from happening, have ikhlas, make dua, have clear goals, have a clear plan, have a support system, and persist. If we do these things, then inshallah we will do well, and we will complete our studies, and we'll go on to benefit the ummah in many, many amazing ways. Wa akhiru da'wana and alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Sister Asma Hussain, our next speaker, holds an MPhil in Comparative Religion. She's an academician since 9 years now and has served as an assistant professor in various high-profile universities of Pakistan. She joined IOU in spring 2016, and since then, she is a part of our greater mission and vision, that is, to reach the world with authentic Islamic knowledge beyond geographical limitations. We hope her words of wisdom are helpful for all our students, inshaAllah ta'ala.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي رب زدني علما اللهم فقهنا في الدين آمين والصلاة والسلام على نبينا محمد صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. I welcome you all with warm greetings and congratulate all the students of Spring 2018 at IOU. It is a great opportunity that has opened its door for you, and indeed it's a blessing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has chosen you for it and gifted you with it. Gifts are granted, and there are choices for us to make how we utilize that gift. So there would be we who would be making certain choices during our journey here at IOU to utilize the gift of knowledge that we would be gaining here. Count IOU in your goals. That is our first choice to make. There are some short-term and long-term goals that lead to certain aim in our life. For Muslims, we have one aim, and that is to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. For this particular aim, we set short-term and long-term goals. count IOU in your goal from day first. For that would help you to gain the energy and efforts that it would be demanding. Be ready to give whatever it takes to attain your goal. And that leads you to success, inshallah. I would like to share 3 things here that would make this journey easier. The first is clarity. Make it very clear why you joined IOU, what you would be gaining here, or you're just here to gain a good degree. And then what would you be doing of the knowledge that you gain here? Be clear that why you joined IOU is a blessing, because it is a university that has no second example for it. It is providing the most authentic, credible knowledge of Islam, which doesn't have any other second to it. And from the world-ranked scholars from all around the world. That is why you have joined IOU, to learn about Islam here, or integrate Islamic knowledge with other sciences, to Islamize other sciences of your profession. Clarity is power, and power leads to success. Throughout the journey, you would be learning authentic, credible Islamic knowledge, and you gain this knowledge for the purpose of spreading it onwards, inshallah. Second is, help yourself identify your strengths and enhance them. We all have our own strengths and weaknesses, and inshallah, IOU would be helping you to enhance your skills, research skills, writing skills, listening skills, understanding skills, comprehensive skills, and inshallah, communication skills included. So, help yourself identify what you're good at and enhance those areas. For no matter what profession we choose, we have one profession compulsory to perform, and that's a duty to perform, and that is that we are wise students of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on earth. We have to serve humanity, strengthen ummah, be a strong building block of this ummah. And that would ultimately please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, inshallah. So that is our primary duty, regardless of whatever profession we choose. So we have to enhance and identify, primarily identify, and then enhance our particular strengths in religion, in deen. As a da'i, which area would we be becoming a da'i? Third, self-discipline. Help yourself to discipline yourself, for it helps you to meet the promises and deadlines. So before ending, I would like to congratulate you again for this great opportunity that you have achieved to become the torch bearers. And the torch is knowledge, with which you would be enlightening others in these dark times, where there is a chaos and confusion about who Muslims are and what Islam is. You would be the torch bearer, inshallah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has chosen you for this purpose and provided you the best platform to gain the knowledge from. Distance learning program might have its own barriers, but IOU has tried its best to fill these gaps. You have forums to discuss and ask questions and share knowledge. You have live sessions to learn face-to-face, share your experiences, ask questions, share suggestions. So be part of it. Be an active part of these forums and live sessions. For each and every moment taken out on the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is ibadah. So take time out and be an active member of your course in live sessions, in forums. Make it more lively and interactive so that we all can learn from each other. We all can learn the best from this time available. So this blessing would count in our balance, inshallah. Take good care of yourselves, and not to forget, start counting IOU, this journey in IOU, in your primary goals. Counting primary goals would mean you would be taking time out for your learning at priority. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Next in line, we have Sister Madiha Bukhari. A native of Dhaka, Bangladesh, Sister Madiha has a BSc in Computer Engineering, and she's also a graduate of Islamic Online University's BAIS and MAIS programs. She's completed the Graduate Certificate Program on Tertiary Education Quality Assurance at the University of Melbourne, Australia, and is currently looking forward to pursue the Masters of Tertiary Education Management at the Melbourne Graduate School of Education as well. She is also the Associate Registrar of our university. Sister Madiha will now introduce everyone to IU's Global Administration, inshallah.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, dear Shuyukh, honorable guests, and especially our new students of Spring 2018 semester. Welcome to the orientation program. I am Sayyida Madiha Bukhari, Associate Registrar of the IOU, and today, inshallah, in my presentation, I'm going to introduce you to the global administration of IOU who work behind the curtains. So dear students, who are the admin behind the curtains? In the course of your study at IOU, inshallah, you will be coming in contact with some of the staff, but not everybody who works behind the scenes at the administration of the university. So your primary contact will be, inshallah, with your teachers under whom you will be studying. Along with them, you have been provided with a one-stop place, which is the help desk, who address all your concerns and queries, and this is where you will receive all of the administrative support you need at the university. And how this works is that, inshallah, the help desk will receive all of your queries and they will take it back to the administration in the different departments that we have and get your query or concern resolved and let you know about it. This is how help desk works as a link between you and the rest of the administration. So what this does is, because you would not be coming in contact with all of the other departments which are there, inshallah, in this brief presentation, I'm going to take you through each of the departments that we have and give you a glimpse about what they do behind the curtains, inshallah. And this is the departments at a glance. We have your faculty, of course, and then we have the registrar's office, we have a student recruitment team, we have promotions, we have the department of ICT, we have the help desk, human resources, Insights magazine team, video department, there are individual contributors, and there are volunteers. Starting with the CIH team, CIH is Chat Info Help. This is the help desk team we just talked about, and they are your window to IOU. So inshallah, all of your concerns, queries, when you email using the help desk contact form or using any of the email addresses written over here, which CIH handles, or you type in the chat box that you see on the website and on campus. This is the team who receives your queries, answers you, and resolves your issues and gets back to you after discussing with the concerned other departments in the administration. And they work 24/7 so that you can have an optimum support, and they're here to assist you with any concern you may have, to help you, to serve you better. This is the team we have set up for the Chat Info Help support for you. The registrar's office, they look after everything starting from your registration to your graduation, which includes in between all of the steps of your admission, enrollment, semester payment, registration, confirmation, issuing your transcripts, degrees, maintaining academic records, and scheduling examinations in different exam centers all across the globe, and other related issues that the registrar's office deals with are all mentioned over here. We have the staff mentioned over here: the registrar, associate registrar, assistant registrar, admissions officers, exam center officer, payments officer, reset officer, student affairs, and scholarship officer. We then have the Department of ICT, who look after the technical part of the university, where IUU is always kept technologically updated. The virtual campuses are maintained, and there are new features being added. More and more automation is taking place to make the tasks that the different administrative departments do easier and faster and more efficient. The staff are mentioned over here. We then have the on-ground promotions department, which includes the official representatives in different countries that we have. And this department also includes all of the student committees and even volunteers. They are the ones whom you may have seen representing IOU in different conferences and events, in different booths, giving presentations, and everyone is welcome to join the on-ground promotions team to volunteer for IUU, to represent IUU, to promote IUU in different on-ground activities. We have this full team located in different countries all across the globe, and they are located in different parts of the world, starting from India, Pakistan, and Africa to North America to different countries in different continents, mashallah. We also have an online promotions department who are involved in helping IU have a larger reach through the social media platforms, social networking, different online platforms, and publishing IU's news and events and other things online, and running the blog of IUU, then using different analysis and tools to have a larger reach online so that more and more people can come to know about IUU. This is the team we have of online promotions. This is our student recruitment team who make outbound calls to all of the registered students that we have to help them go over the next steps to complete their registration through payment and then enrolling into programs of their choice. This was a brief glimpse of the administration behind the scenes that we wanted to share with you today. I hope inshallah you found it beneficial. Jazakumullahu khairan. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.
Moving on, we would now like to introduce all of our new students to the course navigation on our campus.
Welcome to the Islamic Online University. In this video, we will demonstrate how to enroll in courses. If your payment has been confirmed before the beginning of the semester or after the enrollment period has expired, you are able to enroll through the early enrollment portal, which is located in My Home. So when you open My Home, scroll down to Extras and click on Early Enrollment System. If you are not in the regular enrollment period, this portal will be activated. At this moment, we are in the regular enrollment period, so we will go through Enroll in Courses. Click Enroll in Courses and open the enrollment page. The enrollment page contains your reminders. Please be careful and select your courses wisely because you only have 2 attempts to select and enroll in the courses. Click here for enrollment. Open Semester 1 and you will see all the courses of Semester 1. You can select courses based on availability, based on time that you have, and based on other engagements. So if you have a full-time job, you can choose only 2 or 3 courses. If you are a mother with small children, you can choose 2, 3, or 4 courses. And if you're able to dedicate more time, you can choose 6 courses or more, depending on how fast you want to complete your studies. I will select my courses. And in the description, you can see that this is the course name. Here is the indication that this course is compulsory. The instructor is Dr. Bilal Phillips, so you will be watching his videos and he will be teaching the subject. Mukhtar Rabban will be your teacher. He will be the one who will be holding live sessions and who you will be able to direct all your questions, debate with on a subject that interests you during the course, and ask for any clarification on what is said in the videos or read in text. You will make your selection and then you will send requests. But before we do that, I just want to quickly mention the Arabic exemption exam is for those who do have a fair knowledge of Arabic, meaning you can skip certain levels of Arabic depending on current knowledge. And waiver replacement courses are those courses for which you have provable education already. For example, courses in computer or English, you will be able to replace these courses and take some other courses instead. However, to know more about whether your education is enough, you need to contact the help desk. So we have made our selections and we will send our request. So here we have confirmation of enrollment that has been submitted. Now log out and log back in. Then click on Courses. Here you can see the courses you are enrolled in. Clicking on Semester 1, you will see your courses. You can click on one of your courses and see that you can begin your studies. If you are a student of Intensive Arabic Program, you need to know that your semester will contain 2 sessions, not only one as a regular program, but 2 sessions, and you are taking 1 course during that session. For other programs, 1 semester is usually about 6 months. You have your material in your enrolled courses, and you may begin your studies as soon as you are enrolled. If you are enrolling for the early enrollment period, you will have access to all the material. However, if you have missed the enrollment period or the enrollment period has not yet started, you will not be able to actually do your tests until the semester begins. So this is how you enroll in your courses. It is very easy, and the progress chart is now completed. All the steps have been completed, leading to actually studying at the Islamic Online University. We have completed the enrollment tutorial.
And finally, we have with us Brother Wasim Ismail, who is experienced as an educator and curriculum design in business and accounting at the college level since 2005. Certified public accountant with vast experience in accounting in various industries, including public practice and tax planning, retail, transportation, construction, pharmaceuticals, restaurants, and many others. Earned his MBA from Aspen University in Denver, Colorado, graduated in economics from the University of Western Ontario, and holds accounting and IT from Seneca College and Conestoga College. Also earned BSc in Islamic Banking, Finance and Economics from the Islamic Online University. We hope that this message from your senior students will motivate you to be productive and will help you to go through the courses at IUU with ease, inshallah.
Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala Rasulillah. My name is Wasim Ismail from London, Ontario, Canada, and I'm here to congratulate you on making a great decision, probably one of the best decisions in your life, to take on Islamic studies formally with the Islamic Online University. I can tell you, all praise is due to Allah, Alhamdulillah. I started with the Islamic Online University in March of 2015, and I just completed my Bachelor of Science in Islamic Banking, Finance and Economics this past August 2018, as well as the bridge to the Masters in Islamic Studies. When I first started out, my semesters were not very busy for me. I took 4 courses, 5 courses, I had some exemptions. And then alhamdulillah, the second semester I decided, instead of just doing the BSc in Islamic Banking by itself, that I wanted to do the bridge to the Masters in Islamic Studies as well. Of course, that's a dual program and that requires a lot of discipline and a lot of work. I found myself some semesters taking on, with exemptions, about 11 courses, or it was sometimes even 7, 8 or 9, depending on the semester. It wasn't easy, but alhamdulillah, I prayed to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make it easy, and the support I had from my family here as well was fantastic. So my advice to you, brothers and sisters who are taking this on now that you're going through this orientation, is the most important thing, first of all, is making sure that your intentions are sincere for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that you're studying this not because you want to show people that you know more than they do, but because you want to learn something and share it with others for the sake of Allah. The second thing when you're doing your studies is you have to have good time management. And sometimes people get this phobia that I'm not going to have enough time to study. Maybe there's going to be some obstacles in the way. Some days are not going to be like others, and it's true. You have to devote about between 15 to 20 hours a week, I would say approximately, for going through the lectures. Now, to manage your time properly, I think the most important thing, this is my personal opinion, is to really make sure that you control social media. Facebook, Twitter, all those things online can really drain your time and ruin the blessings of the time that you have. So I think that if somebody wants to take this on as a full-time study, they should keep their Facebook and other things to an absolute minimum if they can, and even if sometimes they have to deactivate, you know what, you've got to do what you've got to do. So this is my advice to you, that the first advice is get rid of the social media, keep it to an absolute minimum. All these distractions, entertainment, things like that, things that are mindless, that don't benefit at all, get away from that. In terms of reading, this is my personal opinion. Some people at the Islamic University actually, they provide you with everything. So the books are in PDF format, the lectures are there, the videos are there. Sometimes you might have to find yourself, you have to watch the videos in some cases. Sometimes you may be able to get away with not watching the videos. Maybe you can download the actual sound file. And here's another tip for you. In your commute, you're going to work, you're driving your car, you can put it in your phone or whatever and listen to it during your commute as well. So you can maybe listen to those lectures when you're going to work or to school or whatever on the way. Using your time. You're in the car, you're on the bus, you have no choice, you're tied down, and you have to actually, use that time for something. Now, in terms of reading a book, I've recently come across some research myself that people who read books off of a computer screen or something like this, people that read books off of a computer screen, they're not going to be as productive. They're not going to be as efficient as those who read it right off of an actual real book. So if you're able to get your hands locally from your library or whatever on some of these books, if you can get your hands on real books you can read in your own hands, that would probably be a lot easier on your eyes, because the online environment for the eyes is not very easy. The blue light from the screen can also exhaust you and take away from your concentration. Therefore, I recommend that if you can find the real book instead of reading it off the computer screen, that would help a lot. And this is what I have for you. It's not going to be something that's going to be a walk in the park or an easy task, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us through Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam that whoever seeks the path to knowledge, Allah will make for him, ease a path for him to Jannah, to paradise. Which to me means Allah will make it easy for you even here, I think, on earth. And this is my own, again, interpretation. I could be wrong on this. But Allah will make it easy for you if you really strive and make your intentions for Him alone. I pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grants you the success in this life and in the hereafter. And inshallah, you can achieve something wonderful with the Islamic Online University and benefit yourself and others. Wassalamu alaikum.
With this, we have reached the end of our orientation session. Alhamdulillah, that Allah has blessed us to be a part of this university and gain authentic Islamic knowledge from the comforts of our home. We cannot thank Allah enough for the bounties He bestows on us. We conclude this session now with a word of thanks to all the speakers and most importantly our students. We hope and pray that Allah blesses you all and us in our endeavors and makes this heavy for us on our scales in the Akhirah. Barakallahu feekum. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.